So aggressive, and as a woman, I mean, there's very few. Who is there? Diamanda Gallis in a totally different way. There's not many before or even since that come out with such rage and hate, unless they have a machine gun. But I never, because I'm so outside of the popular opinion, outside of the mainstream, because I don't give a shit whether there's an audience or not, never have. I just can't even answer that question, because, and I don't even feel, just because this looks like a woman, ha ha ha, joke's on you. You know, so I don't know, the question to me is, I'm so outside of everything and just barreling on my own trajectory that I can't even answer that. I'm just carving, I'm just cutting through the rock as I go, and I encourage everybody else to do the same. You know, I mean, first of all, I feel that art is the salve to the universal wound. And also, if you don't have a vision, don't give it a fucking sound. So don't pick up a fucking guitar. Why don't you pick up a tuba? All right, ladies? Tubas! Truly, make a lot more noise. It's going to sound better. But I also think that however you need to create, individuals should create. But you better be pretty realistic. There is no future in thinking you're going to be an artist. Really? Sorry, but I'm not. Because you will be homeless and you will be poor. I've been there, still am. But if you cannot deny it because it's in your blood and it's an irritant, then you go there and you have to do it. Don't give up your day job. I never had one. I'm a little bit smarter than that, though. I can pickpocket. That's why he's sitting over there. Wallet on the other side. You just, I like when they just look. I don't mind, you know. Hi.
What inspired you to write your wonderful cookbook?
My name is Lunch. I did not choose it. I was very poor in New York, hanging out with this group, Mink DeVille. We were all very poor and hungry, and of course we couldn't work. I mean, work? But I decided, I volunteered to get a job for 2 weeks so I could steal food for us. Made sense. So I'm walking with the booty of food. I didn't have a band yet. I just got to New York, and I'm delivering the food to Mink DeVille, and Willie DeVille just goes, Lydia Lunch. I'm like, all right. So I didn't like, I thought it sounded porno. So I said, okay. But once you get a name like that, it sticks. I've always cooked for, I would steal food. I would cook for people. We were really poor. You know, growing up in my generation, the diet was so atrocious, right? Food was so bad. I mean, mothers opening cans of green beans. Microwave was the new thing. I started to cook for A, because I was poor, and B, because you have to eat and you have to survive, so you better know what you're doing. And I really like feeding people. I think it's very intimate. Also, you know, kind of as a witch, there's those secret things you can do to the sauce. Yeah, like Casanova with his sweat, like Pavlov's dog. I mean, so. And you can put drugs in food sometimes. If you want to. Not to tell a party. And actually, True Blood, which I had never seen before, this is a few years ago, somebody told me that a character on True Blood had based her character on me. So I went and checked it out, and it was Michelle Forbes playing this Marianne, who was this witch who was always cooking and drugging people with her food, which I had been known to do. I'm like, I'm going to write a cookbook called The Need to Feed, thinking, tie it in with True Blood, big success. Well, it was a fucking disaster, which was quite a great cookbook, thank you very much. But because the book company was so stupid, they couldn't even tie it to True Blood, and we could have had Michelle Forbes. I based my character on Lydia Lunch, yes, thank you very much. So I have a cookbook called The Need to, it's very sexy. I think that feeding people is a very intimate thing. Good food leads to good sex. And also I really like really hot food, so the hot chapter is called This Is Gonna Hurt You. The meat chapter is called The Killer Inside Me. So it's pretty saucy, and I think it's the only cookbook with a hazardous sign, which talks about how many Superfund sites I've lived near. I've had cancer 5 times. Still smoke though, that's all right. And food is one of the ways, because it's so contaminated, especially in this country, that you really have to watch, So it's just another sexy, sassy cookbooks, children's book. What will be next, It could be. I want to write a children's book called I Love the Louse, because one of my favorite books is called Rats, Lice, and History. It's the biography of the flea that carried the Black Plague and killed more men than bombs, bullets, or bayonets. So I thought a children's book, I Love the Louse. Could be coming. I love the louse. I just do.
That's another question.
No, you asked anything.
Do you resent being associated with the term no wave, or have you learned to kind of embrace
No,
it as
I-
part of your
Thank you.
history?
No, I endorse no wave, because no wave, first of all, I will describe what no wave really is. No wave is, when you hear the word, any other form of music, like punk, country, jazz, well, jazz is different. If you hear like country, the word, rock, hard rock, metal, death metal, you kind of know what it sounds like. But no wave, all of the groups sounded very different. It was a very unfriendly, antisocial group, unlike punk. I mean, punk was kind of, because it was bred out of a social situation and rebellion in that sense, but became very generic musically and fashion-wise. In New York, the no wave movement, nobody looked alike. Everybody had bad fashion sense except for me, James Chance maybe. The music sounded nothing alike. We were not there for the fucking audience. We were not all in it together. We didn't think of it. It was very anti-everything. It was really anti, not each other, but basically, yes, almost anti. I was anti almost everybody outside of that was me though, outside of a very small circle of those most extreme no wave bands. I really like the term. I think it says no to just about everything. And I still like it. I consider myself, no wave. Yeah. Thank you. And Retrovirus is absolutely no wave. It's a retrospective of my most atrocious music, done really well by some improvisational geniuses. Be here in a few weeks. Thank you, Tony. We'll be at the 13th floor lounge on what day?
April 30th.
April 30th. Jesus Christ, a few weeks away. Hi.
What up?
Everything.
Follow-up question. Do you have any sense of who actually came up with the term? Like, I've heard it was this journalist, Roy Trakin, who came up with no wave. Was it something you guys were using among yourselves before it made it into print?
Some people have blamed me for it because I was anti-no and know everything. I don't know, Roy Trakin, but once it was there, it was there. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
You just remember it was there at some point?
I might have been in a conversation I had with Roy Trakin. I don't know, people have tried to search this. I know that, I think No New York was my idea of the title. I don't know.
Okay.
And certainly my idea to have only 4 bands, and that caused quite a bit of controversy, as opposed to a compilation with like 20 bands doing one song. I really fought for that, and that caused a lot of animosity. Because I'm like, sorry Glenn Bronco, you're not going to be on it. You're not No Wave. You're not No New York. Hi.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the formation of Teenage Jesus and the Jerks, and if you, at that time, had any, really specific important influences.
I had my goal was to dismember every influence I had, because it was too traditional. And originally, like I said, I went to New York, I wanted to be a spoken word artist, it didn't exist. Somebody gave me a broken guitar. I started writing the music. We practiced all the time because it was going to be that minimal. It had to be really extremely brutally tight. The drummer did not want to join the band. I met him. He was setting a bum on fire on the Bowery. I'm like, you're the drummer. He's like, no, I'm not. I literally had to take his hands. It was only one drum and teach him how to play it. Not that I knew how to play the drum, but I knew how to. How hard is it? And my goal was just to make the tightest, ugliest din that was the sonic equivalent of a temper tantrum. And I did. And when I went and did, under Thurston Moore, who wrote this love letter to me in the form of a book about underground New York, he said to me at that point, many years later, if I would do a Teenage Jesus reunion, I'm like, well, they're all dead, so what about you? And he agreed, but he knew that I trained Teenage Jesus with a coat hanger, like if there were mistakes, because you had to be tight. So he agreed to go under the coat hanger. And he got a few lashes, that's right. So Thurston Moore did bass, one of the original bass players played drum, and doing the Teenage Years reunion really made me angry because, well, the music is so hateful, and there's like 800 people, which made me really pissed off, because there was never more than 40, and it was pretty brutal. And my favorite part of it was metal dudes, like metal guitar players, they're like, oh, you're guitar playing, to which I just laugh, I'm like, yeah. Because there's something about that guitar playing, because it's so instinctual, it was just my style. People like Nels Cline, only Weasel Walter can play Teenage. They're guitar players, they can't get it. Drummers can't get it. And it's not because A was so tight, but there's something, I don't know what it is about it. I'd have to laugh and tell him, Nels Cline, you suck. And it was just mandatory to make something that broke with everything. You know, the bands who I liked at the time, like Richard Hell and the Voidoids, they're just too traditional. And really, Bob Quine, who was the guitar player of the Voidoids, he was one of my biggest. I was his first fan through the first Richard Hell show. Just thought he was God, and he was one of my biggest supporters, which was to me amazing. It's like one of the best guitar players in the world is very weird with a screwdriver in his pocket. He was hateful.